sponsors of the FA Cup.
The passing of time can be cruel in football. 82, Q.P.R and Terry Venables were on a high. Only denied by Glenn Hoddle in an FA Cup final replay. That year, the Swans were soaring. John Toshak taking them to 6th in the old First Division, their highest ever finish. The 90s and Jerry Francis's Q.P.R were top dogs in London. Soles, their knights in shining armour. 94, Swansea were Wembley winners, Autoglass Trophy champions under the Twin Towers. But time hasn't been kind for Holloway and Addison. They're now desperate to boost the coffers and the crowd. We're at the Betchfield Swansea for the outstanding FA Cup first round tie. It's 3rd Division Swansea against 2nd Division Q.P.R. It's absolutely deafening here pitchside, just what you want in an FA Cup first round tie. Two teams who are plighted off the field by financial constraints at the moment. Joining me here at pitchside is former Swansea manager and Q.P.R favourite John Hollins. John, a cup run absolutely vital to both teams, really.
It certainly is. They could do with the money, but it's going to be a difficult game for Q.P.R, I think, tonight. It's a difficult place to come to. Some great cup nights we've had down here, and I think it's going to be very, very tight, and that first goal is all vitally important.
Smell the air. Can you smell a shock?
I believe so. They're a big side now, Swansea, and they've got some of the big boys back, and I think it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, it's already been an FA Cup shock so far today. No, not Lewis, I'm afraid to say. Against Stoke, they've been beaten by 2-0. Handyside and Gunnarsson with their goals. But look at that one, Hereford beaten by Wrexham. Ian Wright on target. No, not that Ian Wright, but a different one. Hereford go through. Just a matter of historical interest, Colin Addison in charge of the Hereford side that knocked out Newcastle all those years ago. Can he sense another shock in his new reincarnation as Swansea boss? Let's join our commentary team, shall we? First of all, Rob Hawthorne up there as well, Nigel Spagman.
Well, Queen's Park Rangers have been in administration since April. An application for an administration order over Swansea is due to be heard on Friday. Australian-based chairman Tony Petty came in with the intention of sacking 7 players just a few weeks ago, and yet 3 of those players are in the starting 11 today. Matthew Bound, Jason Smith and John Williams, the former Coventry player, would all have gone by now had the Football League and PFA not rallied to the Swansea players' cause. And another 5 members of this team were told their salaries were being reduced dramatically, including long-serving goalkeeper Roger Freestone and veteran midfielder Nick Cusack, the club's PFA representative. Queen's Park Rangers are without expectant father Andy Thompson, their leading scorer. Leroy Griffiths, who was playing in the first round of this competition for non-league Hampton and Richmond last season, takes his place. His strike partner, known as Doudou, is a former reserve player at Monaco, and between them they've scored just 3 goals this season.
Well, Swansea start off with a 3-5-2 there, Rob, with Cusack and Coates trying to get forward from midfield to join in with Sidibe and Williams up there with their pace. Q.P.R will be a flat back 4 with 4 across the middle and 2 up front, with inexperienced up front, but a mixture of youth and experience throughout the side.
Well, prior to kick-off, there will be a minute's silence here for the victims of the recent explosion at the Chorus Steelworks. A particularly poignant one for Christian O'Leary. The man who is due to be his best man, Stephen Galsworthy, was one of those who sadly died in the tragedy. poignant moment that puts football's problems into perspective. No doubt Swansea have had their problems in a football sense, and it's been a good grounding for Nick Cusack, who's the club's PFA representative and was involved in sorting it out. He's actually the chairman-elect of the PFA, so may soon have even bigger problems to try and sort out in that new role. Well, we talk about the magic of the FA Cup, but in pure financial terms, it's desperately needed for Queen's Park Rangers and Swansea, who would both like a lucrative run in the competition to ease some of the difficulties that they've had off the field. Rangers, whose trading has been limited since the administration order was imposed in April, and Swansea, who've had difficulties with a takeover of the club that hasn't necessarily helped their stability. It's Krista Warren looking to get forward early on. Coming back against it was Sidibe. Swansea have never got beyond the semi-finals of the FA Cup. They got to the last four in 1926 when they lost to Bolton, and 1964 when they lost to Preston. Queen's Park Rangers, of course, have been as far as the final 20 seasons ago when they lost to Tottenham and a Glenn Hoddle penalty in a replay of the final. Sidibe looking to make room for himself. It was Bignot who got in there with the challenge. As the ball is cleared. Griffiths just unable to keep it in play. Leroy Griffiths, who played for Hampton and Richmond in the first round defeat that they suffered at Barnet last year when he was a player in the Ryman Premier League.
Very important for Queen's Park Rangers away from home, Rob, to try and keep Swansea quiet for the first 20 minutes or so. They are a big, strong side. They'll be looking to get free kicks, corners, and bombard Q.P.R early on, but Q.P.R have got to try and keep the ball as much as they can and get it up to their front two in good positions.
Well, it can be a very intimidating atmosphere here at the Vetch. But having said that, Swansea haven't performed particularly well here so far this season. Just 2 home victories in their entire campaign, and they've been knocked out of both of the other cup competitions, the League Cup and the LDV Trophy here. Dudu here looking for an opening. Strikes well wide of Roger Freestone's goal.
Yeah, but good to see the young lad take on the responsibility early on of seeing the goals and having a shot. It was obviously well wide, didn't trouble the goalkeeper, but it's good to see him having a pot shot.
Ian Holloway, the Queen's Park Rangers manager, was in charge of Bristol Rovers when they lost in the first round in South Wales last year, quite emphatically as well. They were beaten 5-1 at Cardiff. This is Terrell Forbes. Williams looking for the break. It's Colin Addison, the Swansea manager, who was in charge of Hereford 30 years ago in February when they achieved that famous cup success against Newcastle, and was delighted with his former team's success against Wrexham earlier in the day. It's Mamadi Sidibe.
Yeah, he looks a good player from what we've seen so far, Rob. He's got good pace, he's tracked players back, he jumps well for it, and I think the back four of Queen's Park Rangers, with him and John Williams up front with their pace, they're going to have to make sure they keep that line very tight there, and Fraser Digby in the goal has got to make sure he sweeps up behind right into the edge of his box.
Fraser Digby in his 3rd appearance since his contract at Huddersfield was taken over for the rest of this season by Queen's Park Rangers. Actually made a bid for this man in the other goal, Roger Freestone, but he rejected their approach to stay at Swansea, and Fraser Digby instead was brought in by Rangers. Sidibe looking to break free. Palmer tidying up against him. Mamadi Sidibe was born in Mali, but has played his football more recently in France with CA Paris. Scored a goal on his debut at Macclesfield. Hurled in by O'Leary. O'Leary looking to get it back across. Sidibe waiting for the long throw. Manages to get something on it, but not too much to trouble Digby. This is Dudu, looking to set Marcus Bignett away. It's been a good break from midfield by him. Important piece of defending that, though, by Damien Lacey, who did well to get back.
That's a good counter-attack from Queen's Park Rangers, though. Fraser Digby with a good throw out. Dudu, good movement there to get away, and a nice ball for Bignett, who couldn't quite get there, but good tackle in the end. Q.P.R from one end to the other.
Here's Griffiths. Support out on that side by Warren. Lacey digging in hard to get it clear. The layoff was by John Williams. Break perhaps on here for Coates. And they've steered it across, and Sidibe's in here with a chance. The goalkeeper got something on it. It's turned in by John Williams. And Swansea get a dream start in the FA Cup in the 6th minute. Digby got something on it initially to stop Sidibe, but he unselfishly laid it on, and Williams scores.
This was a very, very good counter-attack. Good play from Williams there. Coates slips the ball down. This is Cusack. Good ball inside. Now Sidibe goes round the goalkeeper. He could shoot himself here, but unselfish. Just lays it on a plate for John Williams to put Swansea 1-0 up. What a good start to the game.
John Williams, the renowned flying postman from his days in the early 90s, when he won a spring competition before a League Cup final at Wembley. In his 3rd spell now with Swansea City, and he scores his 4th goal of the season to give them a cracking start in this FA Cup tie.
I'm sure he hasn't had an easier goal this season, Rob. That was a lovely setup, and couldn't miss. Maybe me and you would have scored as well.
Marcus Bignett, and it's broken here for Dudu. Whether or not you or I would have scored it, it was an unselfish play, wasn't it, by Sidibe? He could have scored it.
He could have scored it, and he's gone round the goalkeeper. Fraser Digby obviously pushed him wide, but he could have put it in himself, but just laid it on a plate for John Williams to tap it in. And he looks a good player, Sidibe. Good pace, good strength, as we see here.
And he's off again, is Sidibe. Palmer ensuring no way through for him on this occasion. Bono challenging. Steered through towards Griffiths, but just beyond him. Roger Freestone, 10 years now with Swansea City in his testimonial season with the club. It's Williams with a layoff. And it's chested back by Forbes.
Very cool play that was from Forbes. It's a good ball in, and he just took it on his chest, back to the goalkeeper. Good play, take the pressure off.
Tyrrell Forbes, who was part of West Ham's FA Youth Cup winning team with Michael Carrick and Joe Cole just a couple of years ago, but he was freed in July and joined this evolving Queen's Park Rangers team, from which Ian Holloway has had to move out quite a few high earners and try and redevelop the team in the 2nd division. They made a good start to the campaign, although things have tailed off a little recently.
Yes, good feet away from Digby, and put it on the plate, as we said. Good call. He didn't rush anything, didn't smash it. Saw his striking partner and put him in on goal.
Well, he'd gone 8 games without scoring in the build-up to this, but John Williams, who was one of those players that, as I mentioned before the game, would have been sacked had the new chairman had his way, has got the goal that could be at the start of a lucrative run in the FA Cup if Swansea play their cards right. No lower division team, even at this stage of the competition, will scoff at their chances of a good run in view of what Wickham did last year in getting to the semi-finals, and Chesterfield did 4 years before that. Colin Addison knows all about the magic of the FA Cup. So Leary for Swansea.
Financially, it's very important for both sides. I mean, Queen's Park Rangers, I was speaking to Ian Holloway and Kenny Jackett before the game, and they were saying, you know, that they thought by now someone would have taken them over and they'd had money to spend and change it around a little bit, but that hasn't happened. They're still waiting for that to happen, and for Ian and obviously everybody at Q.P.R, hopefully that will happen soon.
Dudu doing his level best to keep it in. Real name Abeli Umbombo, making his FA Cup debut, the former Monaco reserve player who was born in Zaire. He's actually at the club. We've mentioned their financial problems, partly at the behest of a couple of fans who own a menswear business, and they basically paid for his wages and accommodation, and in return he does some modelling for them.
That's great to see, isn't it? I mean, Queen's Park Rangers supporters are very passionate about their team and about the game, and it's good to see them putting their hand in their pocket and trying to help the club out, as they need all the help they can get at the moment.
Swansea fans are also trying to do their bit to help the club's survival. There's been a big leafleting campaign today backing the cause of Mel Nurse, a director who is trying to gain control of the club. So although the fans are very much in opposition in terms of the match itself, they're united in terms of their concern for the futures of their clubs. Header almost by Williams, and now Sidibe is through again. He really has been a massive thorn in Queen's Park Rangers' flesh. Here's Nick Cusack. Williams with a deep cross this time. Lacey is the player looking to get there for Swansea, and does. It's followed all the way by Marcus Bignett.
This is another test for Queen's Park Rangers again. They've dealt with the two long throws so far well. It's another test for them coming up now. They've got to defend well and keep their concentration.
There are some big, strong players in there for Christian O'Leary to aim at. Sidibe is one of them. Lacey, one of the smaller figures, was up, but this is Nicky Cusack.
As it comes out to Cusack here. Good strike. He used to be a striker, now playing in midfield and attacking role, but a good strike. But Fraser Digby dealt with it very comfortably.
Here's Krista Warren. Looks to get it across and does. Connolly was the player who was closing in for it. Cole Connolly, who was at Wrexham when they won the Welsh Cup in 1995, but more noted really for his FA Cup successes there against Arsenal and against West Ham.
Yeah, he's an excellent player for Wrexham. Hasn't quite caught fire since he's been down in London at Q.P.R, but hopefully better things to come from him, and he'd love to score, obviously, against Swansea back in his homeland.
Plummer giving away the free kick. And Damien Lacey, for whom this is a first start this season after injury, gets on with the taking of it. Cleared away as far as Cusack. Bono gets it away. Connolly. Looking to switch it out to Bignott, and now Krista Warren. He's aiming to set Griffiths away. O'Leary was there though with a challenge. Warren with the cross. Perry was among those closing in for it, but it was well handled by Freestone, and a quick piece of thinking by him. Well read though by Forbes. Bono. Perry. Marcus Bignett, who followed Ian Holloway, two Queen's Park Rangers from Bristol Rovers. Now Steve Palmer. Brown tried to get it away, but it's fallen for Dudu. Now Connolly. Good pressure that. Well won by Stephen Evans. There he goes again, Evans, who's on loan at the moment from Crystal Palace. Sidibe was offside, it was a late flag.
Yeah, got good play again from Swansea. Steve Evans getting the tackle in on Kyle Connolly on the edge of the box, and they break so quickly. And Queen's Park Rangers have got to try and get the ball. This is the offside. Just ran too early then. But Q.P.R have got to get the ball down the sides behind the wing backs and put pressure on. And they've got to get Connolly wider on that left-hand side if they can, and get on the ball and run at people from there. Because if they put high balls into the box, the back three of O'Leary, Smith and Bound will deal with that all day. And Freestone coming off his line and catching as well.
Forbes. Evans, Stephen Evans. Plummer backpedaling against Sidibe. There's been a major problem for Rangers, and Digby slips, gets out of it because his ball landed at Bignet's feet anyway. Terrell Forbes. Bound looking to his goalkeeper. Roger Freestone played in the top division for Chelsea. In fact, his debut at that level was against Queen's Park Rangers, a 1-1 draw. Andy Hall is tonight's match referee. First time he's been at Fetchfield this season. Warren's free kick. Now Dudu. Warren had continued to advance, but he looks instead here to Perry. Warren aiming to line one up. It's broken again here for Perry. He pulls it behind the front line, and Connolly has to come out and retrieve. Finds Alex Bono. Flicked in towards Dudu. Header away though was by Terry Evans.
That's some good pressure for Queen's Park Rangers there. That final ball missed everybody, but they retrieved it, and now they've got a long throw.
It's Forbes to take. Perry. Bono. Palmer. Side flag up.
Yeah, Swansea held a good line on the edge of the box there and let Dodo just run offside as the ball came in from Steve Palmer.
And Queen's Park Rangers shading it in terms of the possession they've had, although it hasn't led them to a real clear-cut opening so far, and they find themselves a goal down to John Williams in the 6th minute. Terry Evans, who played in the Champions League earlier this season for Barry.
I think the referee was a little bit quick on his whistle there, because I think Sidibe was away, and I thought he was going to give the free kick to Steve Palmer the other way. We should let it go on another couple of seconds and let it go on the game.
Sidibe looking to get on the end of the header. Well, already a rude awakening for Queen's Park Rangers, who are 14th in the 2nd division, 28 places above Swansea in the league structure. This is Dudu. Bono taking charge. Now Warren. And away goes Alex Bono. 4 in the middle to Amat. And it doesn't come off for him, or for Ian Holloway's team at the moment.
No, but it was a good build-up play. It's just that final ball into the box there, and he's scuffed it, and he's gone out for a goal kick. But I think Ian will be in there and say, well, OK, we've got a goal down, but we've had most of the possession. We've just got to make sure that when we do get into the final third, we have to get balls into people's feet rather than just crossing it in there, and get a little bit more movement from midfield to join in with the strikers at times.
The Rangers have won just once in their last 7 matches. It was a victory at Notts County that gave them their only clean sheet in the last 14. 15 now, having already conceded for John Williams. O'Leary is the throw expert. Bound has come forward to join Williams and Sidibe around the edge of the 6-yard box. Bound tried to disturb the goalkeeper, but he took it well. Bound, though, has stayed on the ground, and Swansea are having to defend without him. But because it's a blow to the head that Matthew Bound has suffered, the referee has immediately halted play.
Yeah, and rightly so, but Fraser Digby, once he threw that out, looked and saw him on the floor and was putting his hand up saying kick the ball out. So good from Fraser there, and the referee spotted it. Let's hope there's nothing seriously wrong. But they've done that well, Queen's Park Rangers, when they've actually won those set plays there. Fraser Digby's come and taken the ball from a throw or from a corner. They've broken very quickly, and I think that's been their best form of attack so far in this half. But when you look throughout your team, if you're Q.P.R. playing, you say, well, where are we going to get our goals from? And that's going to be our problem. Can't really see what happens there.
Yes, Matthew Bound just sandwiched from view. In fact, it looks as though he's taking a blow to the back.
Yes, he's up and about now. But what I was saying, with Andy Thompson being out, he scored 13 goals for Queen's Park Rangers this season. Really, you do look, and as a player or as a manager, you look and say, well, where are we going to get our goals from tonight? And, you know, and there's a lot resting on Cole Connolly, really, because the other two strikers are very much not used to this standard of play. You know, they're inexperienced, and they're finding their feet, really. And it's very tough when you're in a FA Cup match away at the Vetchfield.
As for Dudu, it's an FA Cup debut. For Leroy Griffiths, it's the first time he's played in the competition for Rangers, and he's still a very raw striker, although Rangers obviously feels a great deal of potential there. Dudu has won it well here. Support arriving in the form of Forbes. Stephen Evans, the player facing him. And he's found Perry. Now Dudu again. Good solid challenge by Jason Smith. Williams losing out to Perry, and then just catching the Rangers man.
Yeah, good play again from Swansea, breaking. Good tackle on the edge of the box, and they break so quickly. Both teams have really counter-attacked well, but it's Swansea have got the one goal in front.
Bono. Mr. Warren giving away the free kick. This is the third time that Swansea and Queen's Park Rangers have been drawn against each other in the FA Cup. On each of the previous occasions, Swansea were at home as well. 1 win each so far. Sidibe with a header on. And Coates, despite arriving, just couldn't apply a finishing touch.
Yeah, good set play though, good ball in, good flick on, and Coates ran from deep and nearly got there. There's a little bit too much pace on the header.
Probably was the player foul by Stephen Evans. Here's Steve Palmer. Long one looking for Dudu, and first touch allowed Swansea to clear. Matthew Bound doing that job. Williams, the goal scorer. Challenge was by Bignett. Now Perry under pressure from Coates.
Swansea worked very hard in that midfield trying to close the ball down there, and the two strikers are dropping back in. John Williams on that occasion dropping in there to pick up the ball.
Reminder of the action we've got coming up tonight. Valencia against Tenerife, Sky Sports 1 from 8:15. And another London derby over this extended weekend. Charlton against West Ham, Sky Sports 1 and Sky Monday Night Football tomorrow from 7 o'clock. Here's O'Leary. Coates had made the run and he was onside. Sidibe, I think, was coming back from an offside position.
Yeah, I think he was coming back from an offside position, but it's very close that with Coates running from deep. And the back four, we've got to be very careful of that. He's looking to get forward, and Cusac's looking to get forward from that midfield area and causing problems. Queen's Park Rangers just need to get the ball back down now and keep it on the floor, keep the passing movement, keep the possession, and try and get it into the front one's feet rather than up in the air.
Away goes Damien Lacey. Terry Evans, laid off by Coates to Sidibe. This is Bono. Back by O'Leary. Cusack. Well, Cusack angrily exchanging views with Dudu, who was a little over-enthusiastic to say the least.
Yeah, the ball's in the air and Nick Cusack doesn't see him coming here. There's a free kick, no elbows or anything in that, just a free kick. I think Nick just didn't expect the challenge from behind.
Was a gift for the goalkeeper. Fraser Digby, who was signed at the same time as Rhys Evans was taken on loan from Chelsea. And as Dudu looks to get through here, and has done, and Jason Smith was in the right place at the right time to stop him equalising.
Yeah, but confusion, one long ball right down the middle, and Dudu with his pace, straight down the middle. Smith lets it bounce, doesn't see Dudu coming on the inside of him there, but got back round Freestone and kicked it out for a corner. A lead off for Swansea.
Corner cleared by Williams. Palmer looking to keep it going, but it's well cleared. This is Bignett. Forbes. Bono. Quickly closed down by Coates. Getting help though from Steve Palmer and Bignett. Free kick given against Jonathan Coates.
Yes, livening up in that midfield there, Rob. Plenty of tackles going in, very competitive, as the FA Cup always is.
It still means plenty to the players, a good run in this competition. Bono. And it almost deflected off Bignett, who'd made the run into the area.
It's a lovely chip ball through, good run from Bignett. Just comes back off him, and Roger Freestone makes the save. But the breaks are going with Swansea at the moment. Q.P.R just need that little bit of luck. Maybe that would have been a goal, and they're back in it.
Griffiths allowing Dudu to come in and take over, and it was a no-hold-barred tackle by O'Leary, though he unquestionably got the ball. And he's offside, Sidibe.
Yeah, Sidibe well offside there, but what a magnificent tackle coming in there from Christian O'Leary. Saving tackle, there's two of them away, it could have been danger. If he just runs across the line a little bit more, Rob, and he's going to be in. He's just ran a little bit too straight towards the goals. He's run across the line, it's a good ball in, he wouldn't have been offside.
Smith. Well, they may be trailing, but Queen's Park Rangers showing plenty of fight, plenty of spirit. Given away, though, by Bignett. And Williams, who had his goal set up for him by Sidibe, was aiming to return the compliment then, but well read by Palmer.
Yeah, they look a good combination, don't they? Good strength, good power, look for each other all the time. And Sidibe with his pace, I think Steve Palmer with his experience, no chances there, just kick it out, don't take any chances against quick guys.
Williams given the chance to partner Sidibe by Colin Addison because Nathan Tyson decided to end his loan spell here from Reading. Ball aimed in there towards Williams, and Digby fumbled it, and a little lucky to get away there because the referee'd seen an infringement.
He was lucky to get away with that, but I just think it's an arm across his chest, put him off.
Full one pumped in, and it was Williams who came across. Coates, here's Williams. Stephen Evans. Williams.
Yeah, excellent play from Williams there, holding the ball up, nothing on. Everybody had run past him, so he just rolled his foot over the top of the ball, started running it, and I think it was Forbes who gave the free kick away. But good play here, just drag back, away, and the referee gives a free kick.
He's been a fairly nomadic character, hasn't he, John Williams? Never really had the opportunity to settle in anywhere. Lacey here bends the ball in. But he's had 11 clubs in a 10-year career, John Williams. And as I mentioned, this is his third spell here. Here's Dudu. Aiming to feed that one across. And it almost broke for Griffiths, but not quite. This is Bono. Looking for Connolly's head. And it's not cleared the first time, but is the second for a corner by Bound.
Well, Dudu did well there in the first place, coming inside, putting a good ball in. And then at the end of that, it comes back in from the other side, and Connolly unlucky with the header.
Swansea still to register a corner. Queen's Park Rangers second of the match is taken by their number 2, Perry. Connolly with a header back. Williams with a clearance. The man up front on his own was Coates, and Lacey gets it through to him, but he's offside.
Yes, unlucky again, but Coates, if he'd just stepped back half a yard, he would have been onside once again. He just switched off there as the ball came back in. The defenders got up, he didn't go with them. Otherwise he'd have been back in on goal.
Here's Coates again, a player born in Swansea, and now in his 9th season in the first team here. 6 Welshmen in the starting lineup. That's 6 players born in Wales. 4 born in England, and 1 in the form of Sidibe, who was born in Mali. Away goes John Williams. Coates has got in the middle if he can feed it across. Goes for goal himself, and the glory of a second. Just wide.
Just wide, yes, and he took it away from the goal rather than across. If he could have got across, he'd have had a better angle. Or I think it's Coates who makes the run from the left-hand side. But Queen's Park Rangers holding a high line there, didn't quite get it right. He got in behind Palmer there, and there was Coates in the middle of the goal, but he just pushed it a little bit wide, so he didn't have such a good angle to come in and shoot. But should shoot across the goal. If the keeper pushes it out, Coates would have put it in. But both sides are working extremely hard. Both sides want to win this.
Swansea just edging ahead in terms of the attempts they have had. That latest from Williams just brushing the side netting, but of course one of those on target was from Williams himself. And that's the goal that separates these two sides. Even Cyril the Swan delighted with that goal. It's Perry. Dudu. Perry again, now Bono. Forward comes Krista Warren. 4 players in the middle, cleared there by O'Leary.
It's good play from Queen's Park Rangers, came out to the right, back across, went out to the left, and Krista Warren is getting down that left-hand side very well. And that's the problem for Swansea, is when they play with wing-backs.
Warren gets it back across. Here's Bignett. Forbes aims one in towards Dudu. Freestone had started to come and then halted his run. Well, Dudu's had one warning already. it's going to be more than just a warning this time, it'll be a card.
Yeah, he's just a bit late there on Terry Evans. He jumps across, and probably from the first sight of it, it looked like it deserved a booking.
Really going right across the front of Terry Evans, and having had one warning already for a clash with Nick Cusack. Andy Hall clearly feeling he was left with no option but to take sterner action this time.
Yeah, I think Terry Evans made the most of it, mind you. But good to see strikers working hard like that, closing the full-backs down, or in this case the wing-back down, but unfortunately gets a booking.
Warren gets on with the throw. This is Griffiths.
I think that was the ref evening that up. I think it was a Queen's Park Rangers throw in the first place, and now he's given the free kick now.
So to be judged to have been the offender by Andy Hall. Well, Williams, having got that clear, then hurt himself with his landing and is hobbling noticeably at the moment. This will be a source of some concern for Swansea. Here's Bonner. Bignett trying to get round Stephen Evans.
Yeah, Swansea defended very well, but they're defending basically on the edge of their own 18-yard box, very deep. And if we don't get the ball into the front man quick and get movement off the front man from the midfield, then Swansea are going to be happy with that, just pushing them up as it comes in the front man, just pushing them back and squeezing the game down. Queen's Park Rangers just got to move a little bit quicker into the front men and counter-attack them, or feed off the front men with a little bit more purpose.
Warren. Cusack. Sidibe showing his strength again against Plummer. Chris Plummer in the end though gets it away. Cusack. Stephen Evans. Griffiths, who came roaring in with a challenge. Perry. This is Krista Warren. Well, this is Queen's Park Rangers' first appearance in the first round of this competition for 35 seasons. They've been more used in recent times, to starting in the third round of the FA Cup.
But I think it's very hard for them, especially for Ian Holloway, going in there towards the end of last season, unable to keep them up. And I think the financial burdens obviously have taken their toll, and with 18 players out of contract, I think 16 of them left in the summer, Rob, so it's very hard, that sort of turnaround.
Cusack here looks to get in and does, and it's 2-0. Queen's Park Rangers are undone, and Nick Cusack scores his second of the season.
Big long ball up, the flick on once again. Cusack makes the run from deep, and his strength holds off Bonnet there and gets his shot off like any good striker, like he used to be. But that's been a feature of their play in this first half. Cusack making those runs from deep, Coates making those runs from deep, and it's been very difficult for Queen's Park Rangers midfield players to pick them up.
Well, a good pro in his career has Nick Cusack. In his mid-30s now, but he's enjoyed successes, recent promotion success with Fulham, of course. Once helped Motherwell to get to a Scottish Cup final, but couldn't play in the final itself because he was suspended. Will his goal now help Swansea into the second round of this season's FA Cup?
I think Ian Holloway would have been saying to himself there, well, if we go in at 1-0 down, we've dominated or had most of the possession, let's get into half-time, and they would change things around just a little bit at the start of the second half. Now you're going at 2-0 down, you've got to chase the game. So we have to make a couple of formation changes or substitutions at half-time, Ian, just to liven things up and try and get back into the game.
Bono. Krista Warren. Connolly looking to get on the end of it with a header, but O'Leary gets it away. Sidibe.
I don't know if this is a foul, Rob. I think that's just a shoulder to shoulder. The referee hasn't given it. The assistant's given it on that side, and I think it looks worse from where the assistant was to where the referee is, and I don't think that deserves a booking. That's just shoulder to shoulder, and the Frenchman's gone down and got the free kick and got the booking.
Some of the Swansea coaching staff came out with vehement protests, and whether that influenced the referee's decision to make this into a booking, I'm not sure.
That's something that's come into our game anyway now, Rob. You know, people diving, trying to get free kicks, penalties, etc. It's just part and parcel of the game, and it's very, very difficult for the referees and their assistants to judge what is and what isn't a free kick. It was a free kick, but I don't think it was a booking.
So it's unfortunate for Steve Palmer that he now finds himself on a yellow card as a result. As if the Rangers defence isn't under enough pressure already. Away by Bignett. Sidibe looks to go for this one again, and the goalkeeper almost caught out and just got enough on it. Huge relief that for Digby.
Huge relief all round for Queen's Park Rangers and the goalkeeper and the defender. Just a toe poke back over the top. Sidibe doesn't give it up. Palmer's trying to block him off, or Plummer's trying to block him off, and it nearly goes over Fraser Digby's head. Just recovers.
Nothing more than a hopeful punt, and Digby just getting enough reach to divert it away. And again, Digby comes and doesn't get there, and it's cleared off the line. It was Smith's header, and there was a Rangers player who managed to just get there, much to their relief. In fact, Connolly, the player who was there and cleared it, got himself tangled up in the goal net as a result. Forbes. And here is Connolly, the hero of that moment when he prevented Queen's Park Rangers from going 3 down.
Take him on! Take him on! Get out of there, Leroy! Take him on!
Warren. Cross in there towards Connolly. What a strange moment that would have been had he made a goal line clearance at one end and scored at the other. He might yet. Connolly's in there again. Cusack. Terry Evans, and he's onside here, Williams. This is Sidibe. Forbes here has to be careful, and Rangers are really rocking at the moment. Coates there was causing them a problem.
They are rocking at the moment. They're all over the place, and that's because Sidibe and Williams are putting them under pressure. This was the header from Smith and Connolly off the line. If that had gone in at 3-0, I think the game would have probably been over, Rob.
Coates. Lacey. Stephen Evans, cleared by Forbes. Dudu. Perry. Now Connolly. Bignett has Warren up on the outside of him, goes for glory himself.
Yeah, good counter-attack from Queen's Park Rangers there, but Bignett chose the wrong option. He should have just kept it going on the outside to Crystal Warren and let him put it in from a much better angle, and he's gone for the shot there, trying to take the glory. But Queen's Park Rangers do need to try and get a goal by half-time if they can.
Well, I mentioned it was a long time since Queen's Park Rangers had played in the first round of this competition. It's almost half a century since they lost in the first round. It was 46 seasons ago when a 2-0 loss at Southend United dumped them out in round one. But they're staring at that eventuality repeating itself now. 3 minutes of stoppage time as Rangers nervously get towards half-time, hoping to restrict it to 2-0 now, such is the edginess among some of their defenders. Williams. Coates. Dudu. Connolly. O'Leary. Williams.
I think that's been a feature of Swansea's play in the first half. They've not given anything up. If it's gone in behind the back four of Queen's Park Rangers, especially in wide areas, Williams and Sidovi have got down the sides. The midfield players made the run through the middle, and they've worked so hard, and they've got their rewards. But Q.P.R are still in there at the moment. They've just got to make sure they don't concede anything now, just before half-time.
Stephen Evans it is who bends in the corner, and Digby holds on at the second attempt. If they were to concede a third goal now, then Queen's Park Rangers could kiss goodbye to any hopes at all of going to Macclesfield or Forest Green in the next round of the competition, the draw having already taken place earlier today. Williams was very slow in retreating from an offside position then, but here's Coates, and it took a deflection on its way through off Plummer.
Yeah, worth a shot from there. Coates could have gone anywhere. Just flew up into Fraser Digby's hands, but Williams was just walking back to make sure he wasn't interfering with play and wasn't offside.
Griffiths. Palmer.
Get outside it! Get outside it! Give him it! Cross! Get in the front! Get right!
Oh, looking to pull one across for Dudu. Well taken by Roger Freestone. Swansea buzzing at the moment. Lacey. Perry. Connolly's free. Carl Connolly. Bignett. Half-time and another FA Cup shot very much on the cards. John Williams put Swansea City ahead for Colin Addison's team, who are 4 points off the bottom of the third division, remember, but they're leading 2-0 in this cup tie thanks to Nick Cusack's goal, and it could have been 3 with Jason Smith's header having been cleared off the line by Carl Connolly. Half-time at Vetchfield, Swansea 2, Queen's Park Rangers 0.
And John Hollins sensed a shock, didn't he? Is it about to come true? John Williams setting Swansea on their way to a possible cup shot. We're back with the thoughts of John in a couple of minutes.
Next Sunday morning at 11:30. Get up early. A Sky box office brings viewers outside Scotland one of the biggest derbies in the world. Celtic v Rangers. Only on Sky box office. See channel 770 for ordering details. Then, at 1:30 on Premiership Plus, one of the teams of the season, Liverpool face Sunderland. You can order this game for only £8. Call 08705 160 160. That's 08705 160 160 or see channel 433.
More live American football coming up for you tonight. This week's match from the NFL features the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And of course, our exclusive interactive stats and scoreboard service is also available for Sky Digital viewers. That's live American football from the NFL coming up for you tonight, 9 o'clock, live on Sky Sports Extra. Boy, oh boy, Ian Holloway's got a lot to think about at half-time. His Q.P.R side trailing by 2-0 here at the Vetchfield. John Hollins is my guest. If you just arrived from outer space, you'd be hard-pushed to identify that Swansea are the 3rd Division club, Q.P.R are the 2nd Division side.
Yeah, well, I think the Cup, they do enjoy the Cup, and I think this is a very difficult place to come. The crowd get behind them. They've started with a goal. I said the aerial battles, they would win most of those. They look very strong at the back, Swansea, and they just seem to be Q.P.R at the moment. Unless they get a goal early on, it looks as though it's going to go. I think certainly Swansea could get more goals, certainly from corners, set pieces. They're so big and so strong.
It's an old cliche in football, isn't it? The FA Cup's a leveller. This is more like an uphill struggle now for Q.P.R, though, isn't it?
It is, but when you say they're 2nd Division, 3rd Division, the divisions don't mean a thing. If people are really getting about their job and really working hard. Swansea have worked very hard at Q.P.R. to stop them at source. They've got a little guy up front who's trying to twist and turn. He's had a couple of chances, but the stronger Swansea get, I think they could go even further and get more goals.
We came expecting Swansea to be physical, to be direct, but their first goal, John Williams started it and finished it. It was a great footballing move, wasn't it?
Yeah, as I've said, people underestimate teams from these divisions, and the way, I mean, there was a ball slid down the side, good ball whipped inside there, and John Williams just definitely goes past him, sets the guy up, could have had a shot himself, but puts it in. But they've done that 2 or 3 times, Swansea, and certainly from, I know you're going to watch the second goal, but that is just a simple ball driven up, just a little flick on, and Nick Cusack is there just to flick the ball in the back of the net.
Well, they didn't pick up his run from D. That was the key thing, wasn't it? They were going, who's that? It was Cusack.
But they didn't win the first header, and quite a few occasions there's been a couple of little battles there. Sidibe is hard to control, and certainly John Williams is 6'2", 6'3", and they haven't got many big guys, Q.P.R, and they were going to struggle all night unless they defend higher up the pitch.
Okay, so what can Q.P.R do? It's like the old Catenaccio, Colin Addison's coached on the continent, get a goal, put the bolt across the door and hold up. You mentioned Dudu, a little fella up against tall men in the Swansea defence.
Yes, I think whether or not they've got into some good positions down on the left, overplayed at times instead of putting the ball in. It's just that timing of getting the ball in behind them. They've had 2 or 3 good incidents where balls have been put in. He is very quick, Dudu, and they can just put it in like a little dinky ball over the top there, and there's a ball knocked down. They've got to be more patient, they've got to keep playing, they've got to get down the sides and just keep putting these balls in behind. If they can get in behind them, I think if they get a goal, the whole situation could change. But I don't see it. I really don't see it at this moment.
OK, thanks very much, John. At the moment, it's Swansea who are going to either Macclesfield or Forest Green in the next round. Q.P.R trailing by 2-0. These fans will be happy. Nick Cusack putting them 2-0 up. We're back with the second half live right here. Sky Sports 1, Sky Sports Extra, tomorrow night from 7 o'clock. Cyril the Swans on song. Taking a... Oh, it's Neville Southall. Bit of fun here at the Vetchfield at half-time. A lot of fun if you're part of the home contingent. Swansea leading by 2-0. Let's join our commentary team for the second half, shall we? Nigel Spackman and first, Rob Hawthorne.
Nicky Cusack, the scorer of the second Swansea goal. He's actually been more used to scoring against Swansea in the FA Cup for his previous sides. He did so for Fulham in a 7-0 victory against them 6 seasons ago, and he also got a goal for Oxford against them. John Williams was the scorer of the first goal, his first in the competition for Swansea, who will look to build on that 2-0 lead. And how often have we said it before, but the next goal could be decisive.
Yes, it could be, but Queen's Park Rangers obviously need the next one to make a game of it. If Swansea get the next one, they could go on and score a few more.
Here's Terry Evans. Now Sidibe. Terry Evans. Coates with a hit! Well, that could have signed, sealed and delivered it.
It could have done. Just broke to him on the edge of the box on his left foot. Keeps his head down. One thing in his mind, and Fraser Digby holds on to that well because it came through a couple of players there.
He scored 4 times this season as Jonathan Coates, and none of them yet have come in victories. Here's Sidibe. That was O'Leary. And away by Chris Plummer. Coates. Cusack. Coates. Cut out by Bono. This is Connolly. Now Bignett gets away. Perry up to his right. This is Leroy Griffiths. Terry Evans. Williams. John Williams with Steve Palmer, who's on the yellow card, guarding him.
That's unlucky, that from Williams. He gets away. One thing in his mind, get the cross in, but just a little bit too close to the goalkeeper.
Colin Addison and Peter Nicholas, the managerial team, now in charge here at Swansea City. Addison, who's coached around the world. He's coached in Spain, South Africa, Qatar, Kuwait and now Wales, where he's partnered by Peter Nicholas, who we can see on the left there, who was managing Barry Town until he moved to the bench.
I think Pete's been eating a few of the pies down here as well by the looks of him, but he's a very competitive character when he plays, Peter Nicholas, and I'm sure he'll be getting onto his players, push in, get tight, work hard, and that's certainly what they've taken on board.
Warren's cross, on there to claim it for Rangers. Steve Evans, who worked with Peter Nicholas at Crystal Palace, where he was on the coaching staff. This is Forbes. Crystal Warren. Lacey. Bignett. Forbes. Griffiths. Here's Marcus Bignett. Perry coming under pressure from Coates. It's Palmer's ball. Connolly. Bono. Bignett. Griffiths. Forbes outside him, but he's looking inside. And it was an attempt at the spectacular that didn't come off for Perry. There's Ian Holloway, who was part of a Queen's Park Rangers team that actually reached the quarter-finals of this competition back in 1995. But Queen's Park Rangers as a club very different today to the one that was in the Premiership and in the top 5 of the Premiership as recently as 9 seasons ago.
Yeah, it's a shame to see how they've fallen from there to where they are now, with all the financial problems they've got and everything. But Ian Holloway, obviously, as a player, works extremely hard, good technically as well, and he's trying to bring his team here to play good football. They're battling away, but it's an uphill task for them at the moment, especially with the inexperience that they've got up front. I think the back 3 for Swansea, very experienced, very strong, and it's very, very difficult for the front 2 to get any change out of them today.
Well, they were a Premiership club until they were relegated 6 seasons ago, and it was the price of chasing the dream of a prompt return that's really left them now trailing behind. But in this game, and in terms of getting a run in the FA Cup this season, they desperately need a goal quickly. Williams hustles them out of it though. Stephen Evans looks for Sidibe, who had a big part to play in Swansea's opening goal. And Williams, who scored it, has had a big part to play in both goals. It was his flick on that set up Nick Cusack for the second.
Yeah, those two up front caused lots of problems for the back four of Queen's Park Rangers, but it's good to see that Forbes is pushing forward more on that right-hand side from full-back position. Christopher Warren did it well in the first half. Those two have got to get on the ball and take the ball forward and cause problems for the wing-backs and try and double up down the sides with the front men or with the midfield player coming across. They've got to try and get a goal back and give themselves a chance of maybe picking up a draw and going back to Loftus Road.
Well, Andy Thompson has been a big loss to Queen's Park Rangers, their leading scorer absent, awaiting the birth of his second child. Here's Damien Lacey, and away by Steve Palmer. Plummer. Here comes Bound. Now Carl Connolly. Bignett. Krista Warren.
That was what you call a strong challenge, that from O'Leary there. It was one winner of that ball, and he got the throw as well.
And Sidibe benefiting again from Williams' flick on, and Coates was breaking to his left, but Forbes prevents him from getting it across. Connolly. Here's Perry. Overrun by him.
Yeah, they're working hard, Queen's Park Rangers, to try and get back in the game. Forbes coming across there and clearing up at the end, but they've got to keep the ball a little bit better and get it into wide positions to the two full-backs and try and cause problems, either with them getting around the outside and getting the crosses in, or getting it into the front feet and the midfield player joining in. But it's an uphill task for them, with Swansea are working their socks off.
Well, it's the first time that these two teams have met in serious competition in almost 21 years. And Swansea haven't beaten Queen's Park Rangers in the last 9 League and Cup meetings. They're well on their way to doing so tonight. This is Forbes. Strong challenge on Dudu, although the Swansea player who made it hurt himself in the process. Here's Williams. Sidibe's got into the area now, but it's beyond him. Can Coates retrieve it? And it's beyond him as well. Forbes away.
And another good break from Swansea, especially down this right-hand side, where Williams is getting away from Palmer down that side, putting the ball in, and Coates, we saw him coming at the edge of the picture there, trying to get into the box. He couldn't quite get there.
Forbes. To Smith. Bound. Coates challenging with Bono. It's Bignett. Bono. Matthew Bound. Perry. Perry followed out there by Stephen Evans, who's won the throw. It's Cusack. Warren. Marcus Bignett. Forbes. The run was made by Griffiths, but the flag up for offside.
Yes, just needs to run across the line and then in. He ran the wrong way and he's offside. They're holding their line well there, Swansea, the back three, and if, when it goes to a back five, they still hold that line very, very well. Queen's Park Rangers just got to be patient, keep the ball, get into good areas and get decent quality into the box or into the front men, whichever way around it is.
Queen's Park Rangers, mid-table in Division 2, trailing to Swansea, with 7 places off the bottom of the league. Another cup upset on the cards. Terry Evans could make the position even worse for Rangers here. And they're glad to see that one float past.
Yeah, but good play again. This is Terry Evans, takes on his player. It's a good ball in across that 6-yard box line, but nobody took the chance. Should have been all Williams. They didn't get it into that area where they could have scored another goal.
Lacey. Well, Terry Evans is perhaps an example of what Swansea have to do here to try and rebuild themselves and bring in players with the sort of hunger that he shows. He's had a previous crack at a professional career with Cardiff but was released for economic reasons, and Colin Addison brought him in here from Barry, where he'd worked with Peter Nicholas, to rejuvenate his career. It's Evans' 3rd appearance since his move, and he's not been on the losing side so far. Here's Plummer.
Just gone a little bit dead for Q.P.R. at the moment. They need to either make a change tactically or bring a couple of subs on just to liven things up to try and change it and give Swansea some problems. At the moment, Swansea are quite happy. They're sitting very deep and letting Queen's Park Rangers have the ball in their own half.
Here's Dudu. Time is ripe for a change, and Paul Bruce is going to come on and take the place of Krista Warren. So straight swap. Bruce, who was taken out of the heat of a situation that was developing where the crowds had been on his back, but he has also had a bit of a knee problem. It's going to be a double substitution here by Rangers, because as well as Bruce, they're bringing on young Oliver Burgess. Perry is the player going off to make way for him. Burgess is a product of the youth scheme, young midfield player who scored 11 goals from midfield for the Academy Under-19s team last season and played in both legs of the final of that competition against Nottingham Forest. Steve Palmer, now Forbes. Laid off by Griffiths for Dudu, but he couldn't really get anything behind the shot. At the right time for change, do you think, from Ian Holloway at this mark?
Well, I think he's got to take a chance, Rob. He might change the system as well. He might go to 3 at the back, try and match Swansea like for like. But he's got to make the change anyway, just to liven it up, because it had gone a little bit dead for them. They need to get a goal and take a few chances now, otherwise it's going to be too late.
Bonner. Plummer. Dudu. This is Lacey running into the tackle from Marcus Bignett. Connolly. Now Bruce. And to steer on across. Burgess had made a run trying to get on the end of it.
That could have been dangerous, that, Rob. He's done well. I think he's got his dancing shoes on there. Just spun round and then run up the steps. Here we go. Little push from Forbes. Good move, right?
Thought he decided he just wanted to watch the last half an hour. And Queen's Park Rangers still with the edge in terms of possession. Still unable to convert it into goals. And the goal almost in peril again.
Yeah, you mustn't let the ball bounce in your own 18-yard box there. Forbes should just whack that away, or Palmer should have whacked it away. You can't let it bounce. Don't take the chance.
Got called out by allowing the bounce for the second goal that Swansea scored from Cusack. Well, a reminder of football action that we've got coming up. After this, you'll be able to see the whole of Valencia against Tenerife on Sky Sports 1 from 8:15 tonight. And tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Monday Night Football comes from the Valley. Charlton against West Ham, Sky Sports 1 with interactive coverage on Sky Sports Extra. Here's Bignett. Header away was by Smith, who could have had the tie sewn up by now had his first half header gone in. This is Dudu. The goal for Rangers now would put a different complexion on it, but it's O'Leary away. Bruce. Dudu. Giving a couple the slip. Now Burgess got inside his man and he got taken there by Stephen Evans.
Again, the referee could have let that go. He's coming in on his left foot. He could have got a shot off. The referee's given the free kick.
Well, he allowed the quick free kick, which came straight back off the wall.
Yeah, but he should have just let the play go, Rob, there. It's in a much better position for Queen's Park Rangers.
There goes Sidibe. Mamadi Sidibe with a shot, well wide in the end.
Yeah, but that's the danger with Queen's Park Rangers now chasing the game. They could get hit on the break, and with his pace and Williams' pace, they could concede another goal rather than scoring one for themselves. But this was way off target.
Well, it's on target where Swansea have made the difference, and a significant difference too. Coates. Bam coming under pressure.
But they're still working extremely hard, Queen's Park Rangers, closing down in there. It's a shame that they've given the free kick away.
Ian Holloway's assistant, Kenny Jackett, one of those who was released by Gianluca Vialli in the Watford Revolution, but Kenny Jackett was a loyal lieutenant to Graham Taylor. He's both a player and a coach. Oh, he's through, it's Sidibe. He's waiting for support. It's arrived with Williams. Oh, and he blasts it over when he had another option with a run from Lacey to his right.
Yes, good play from Sidibe again there. Closing Steve Palmer down. It's a long ball, but he's going to chase these all day. He puts Steve under pressure, gets the break off him there. Looks up. Plays it back for John Williams, a little bit behind him. On his left foot, he blazes over. And as you said, Lacey was up with him. Maybe he could have just to his right now. Could have slotted it to him.
A loss of composure just when it mattered most from John Williams, and Damien Lacey was the one with his arms raised, questioning the final decision that Williams took. Connolly's putting the pressure on here. Smith's header, though, gets back to its target.
I think since the substitutions and the change of shape with Palmer going spare at the back with Plummer and Forbes, I think Queen's Park Rangers are getting into the game more. Dudu's coming into that space in between the back three and the midfield and getting on the ball and getting turned at them, but they need a goal.
Cusack. Burgess, one of the substitutes that Ian Holloway hopes can change Rangers' fortunes around. Another good committed challenge though by O'Leary. Dudu is the player fouled.
Again, I have to say, Rob, they've got good possession of the ball there. The referee should let it go, and if he wants to book the player, when the ball goes dead or the game goes dead, bring it back and book him then. You've got to let the advantage go. They're in good possession, they're in a good wide position, they're 2-on-1 down the outside. Let the play go on.
Stephen Evans is the player cautioned. Will further punishment be inflicted on Swansea here from the free kick? Off the upright.
I think Freestone was beating all ends up there.
Paul Bruce, the player who hit it.
If that had gone in, the referee just said he'd got it right, wouldn't he? Just hit the outside of the upright, 6 inches the other way, and it'd have been 2-1. Very unlucky from Bruce.
Confirmation of the caution, the foul that led to the free kick. Stephen Evans was the player whose name was taken. Sidibe looking for the run of Coates. Intervention was by Palmer. Stephen Evans with a layoff. Cusack tries to retrieve it. This is Bono. Taken away by Plummer. Lacey. Coates. Williams. Bignett. Forbes. Evans taken by Steve Palmer, who's on a yellow card already, remember?
Yeah, that was just late. Nothing malicious in it, it was just late for it.
Stephen Evans was the player taken down by Steve Palmer. Here's Terry Evans, who quickly came under pressure from Griffiths, and now Dudu on the break with Connolly up to his right. He's going to try and go through himself. It was ambitious, and Smith managed to get back to block his eventual effort.
It was ambitious, but it was a good run. He maybe could have slotted Connolly in away to his right-hand side, or Griffiths to his left, but decided to take the responsibility of the shot on himself, hit the defender, but maybe the better option would have been to slide one of the others two in.
Bignett. Conley. Forbes. Looking to deliver for Griffiths. It was a powerful challenge though by Smith that leads to a corner.
Yeah, good ball in and good build-up play once again, and Queen's Park Rangers get a little bit of momentum now. If they can get a goal back, could end up getting a draw.
Well, Bruce has gone across to take this third corner of the game for Queen's Park Rangers, who need a goal from somewhere to lift themselves, and the header goes across the face of the goal.
If someone attacks this at the back post here, Rob, with the flick on from Connolly, if someone attacks it at the back post here, there's loads of room at the back. Anybody taking a chance to get in there might have got a goal. They've got to take chances now, Queen's Park Rangers, from these set plays or from general play. They've got to push themselves forward and take a chance.
Swansea fans preparing themselves for a celebration of reaching the second round of the FA Cup as Sidibe is muscled out of it. Plummer. Bruce. Plummer again. Bono. Griffiths couldn't work it through. Chris Plummer. Alex Bono, once of Watford. This is Burgess. Managed to get away from Stephen Evans. Blocked by Smith.
He showed good aggression there, Burgess. He turns his man when he thinks he's going to get the ball knocked off him. Runs it to the goal, has a shot. Unfortunately not the best of shots, but he's won his side a throw-in the corner.
Bono. Bruce.
They seem to be controlling the play at the moment, Queen's Park Rangers, with the system they're playing, like for like. They get on the ball, they're knocking it about, all they need is a goal.
Bruce. Came off Terry Evans. Ian Holloway praying for that breakthrough that will give Queen's Park Rangers a lifeline. Just working hard to try and win it back, but cleared in the end by Matthew Bound. Palmer. Bignett. Griffiths aiming for and finding Paul Bruce. Blocked by Terry Evans, but this time leading to a corner for Rangers. Plummer and Palmer have both come forward from the back. Griffiths is in there. Palmer's gone to the near post. Connolly's also in the 6-yard area. Tries to get up for that one, but it's well cleared. Palmer couldn't work it back through though.
Yeah, they just need a break in front of goal now with all this pressure, all the possession they've got. They just need a break in front of goal, something to drop down and someone to poke it in the back of the net and give them the chance of getting back right into this game with maybe 20 minutes to go.
Ian Holloway's team facing an early exit from the FA Cup. Be their earliest exit in almost half a century. Williams offside. Colin Addison, who loves the FA Cup, not only his success with Hereford, but of course at Yeovil last year, claimed a couple of league scalps, Colchester and Blackpool, before they unluckily lost to Bolton in the 3rd round. And his team may be behind in terms of possession, but they're ahead where it matters.
I think Swansea might make a change in a minute.
And here's Sidibe on the chase for them, and he's got 2 options in the middle, and he tries to pull it back for Jonathan Coates, who doesn't get a clean connection with it this time.
Yeah, another breakaway for Swansea, but Queen's Park Rangers have got to take the chance now to push on more and more. And I think that's why Colin will make a change in a minute, just to try and freshen things up for Swansea.
Bono. Gareth Phillips with shaven head is the player all set to come on. Diving into the challenge there on Coates. It's Palmer who gets away. This is Connolly. Now Bono. Queen's Park Rangers also intending to make a substitution. Jonathan Coates that Phillips comes on to take the place of. An FA Cup debut for Gareth Phillips, despite this being his 6th season in the first team here. Bruce. Here's Plummer. Queen's Park Rangers have also made their change. They've brought on Richard Paquette and taken off Leroy Griffiths. It's Bono. Cleared by Lacey. Here's Sidibe. Away by Plummer. Williams manages to bring it under control and gets his shot away.
Yeah, good effort on the turn, just going wide. But again, this is a big clearance, and Forbes is very deep there, playing him onside, should have been pushed up and left Williams offside. Then he has to get back and try and put him off from the shot.
Terry Evans. Forbes and Palmer having to again deal with the threat of Sidibe, which has been significant throughout this contest.
Yeah, he's chased everything. He was out for a while with injury this season. He had, I think, a 12-inch gash in the back of his leg. So he's done well to last this long in this game and working his socks off for the team.
Well, Gareth Phillips is being called towards the referee, who is unhappy about this challenge.
Again, Rob, I think he wins the ball there. He does catch the player, but he wins the ball, and the player makes the most of the tackle.
Plummer is the player who was taken down by Gareth Phillips. He's only just been introduced by Colin Addison. The yellow card, though. Plummer still feeling the pain.
Yeah, still feeling the pain, but they need him up on his feet, running around, because they've got a good momentum going at the moment. They want to keep the pressure on Swansea, and they've only got about 13 minutes to get 2 goals.
The Swansea fans unhappy that Plummer is not leaving the field, if only temporarily, which is usually the cosmetic exercise that's enforced when players have had treatment.
Yeah, unless it's a head injury, of course.
Plummer, though, does stay on the free kick. And then Phillips again, catching Bono.
I think he's got to be very careful. He's just got to settle down a little bit now. If it's a 50-50, just pull out of it, otherwise he'll get himself sent off. I don't think Colin will be too pleased with that, having just put him on.
Bruce with a free kick, looking for the head of Steve Palmer. Stephen Evans doing enough to get it away. Well, it's a very special atmosphere here when it's positive, and the crowd making plenty of noise now, anticipating an appearance in the second round. And Sidibe has got away again, and the flag has stayed down, and the goalkeeper's mistimed it. This is the chance to seal it, and he has, with gusto. It's a goal he's deserved for his performance, and Sidibe rounds off the Swansea success that will carry them into the second round of the FA Cup.
And he deserves that goal, Rob. He's worked tirelessly up front. He's been unselfish. He's been playing on the last man all the time, on the shoulder. This is played forward by Williams. He's on the last man there in his own half. Never going to be offside. Fraser Digby waiting for the ball. Should have just come through and headed it. He nips in front. And that's one of the easiest goals they'll ever score. And has wrapped it up for Swansea.
Well, a great moment for Sidney.
You can't wait for the ball there, Rob. It's a goalkeeper, last man. You've got to come out and clear it. Especially with his pace.
Well, a very proud moment for him, his fifth goal of the season. And as you mentioned, he has had this injury problem this season, which kept him out for a while. He had 12 stitches in that leg wound, but he's back with a vengeance now. One thing that sadly tarnished that moment was the fact that in their high spirits, one or two fans spilled onto the pitch, and the referee did have a quick word with one of the stewards here responsible for security to try and ensure that there's no repeat of that. Colin Addison won't want anything to overshadow what looks like being a great success for his team.
Yeah, it's a good performance, a good sculpt as well against a high division side, and it puts them in the next round against Macclesfield or Forest Green, is it, Rob? So, you know, they'll be looking to go as far as they can in this competition and get a few pounds in the coffers.
And with no disrespect intended towards Macclesfield and Forest Green, you would say that it would present Swansea with a great opportunity for a lucrative third round tie, although they wouldn't, of course, take anything for granted. Well, they are almost there now. Terry Evans with the throw. Terry Evans is going to try and shrug off Dudu, and does. He gets it across. Williams got the header. Fraser Digby, whose misjudgment cost Rangers the third goal, makes a safe catch this time. Here's Burgess. Forbes. Challenged by Smith. Oliver Burgess again. Bono. Bignett. Conley. This is Bruce. Forced into that corner by Terry Evans, but he's still managed to get his cross in. And Lacey almost gave it away to Burgess. And even though they've got the comfort of that 3-0 lead, Smith not giving up on the challenge.
Yes, well, what they'll be wanting now is just make sure they keep a clean sheet. But Bruce got down the left-hand side and put a lovely cross in there. Very unfortunate not to get something from that.
And more alarm for the referee that fourth official Clive Wiltsh has just drawn his attention to something that he wants him to keep his eye on. Nothing that needs instant attention, clearly. Away by Palmer.
You have to say that Swansea have gone about their game plan very, very well. They got that goal, the first goal, very, very important. Got the fans behind them here at home, and it was going to be an uphill task for Queen's Park Rangers without Andy Thompson. He just don't know where they're going to get a goal from, but they've worked really, really hard to try and get back into the game. But it just hasn't been their day, and all credit to Swansea, Colin Addison, Peter Nicholas, have gone about this game in the right way and into the next round.
Well, Swansea lost in the first round of this competition last season when they were beaten at Bournemouth. The fourth time they'd fallen at the first hurdle in 6 years, and they've only reached the third round once in that time, but Colin Addison looks like leading them there this year. Another change being made, and off will come John Williams, who set them on the road to victory. And on in his place comes Steve Watkin, who's had a bit of FA Cup magic already on his CV. He is the man who scored the winner in Wrexham's third-round victory against Arsenal 10 seasons ago now, remarkably. And he comes on to be a part of the action today against one of his colleagues that day, Carl Connolly, who's lining up for Queen's Park Rangers.
Yeah, standing ovation for John Williams, and he deserves that as well. He's had a very, very good game. Worked very hard up front with Sidibe and got his goal as well.
Here's Paquette trying to get at least a consolation for Queen's Park Rangers, but a beaming smile from John Williams. And well, if you can't enjoy afternoons and evenings like this, then you're never going to, are you? Bruce, brave header away by Cusack as Swansea sit deeper and deeper, but could still pose a threat on the break. Sidibe still giving Palmer one or two problems.
Yeah, he's not given up anything, as he's chased down everything, put defenders under pressure, and he's got his rewards with the goal and made one as well.
Clearance by Jason Smith. Bruce. Cusack. Now Watkin. Stephen Evans. Well, a cup run could be just the tonic that Swansea need. They've got this court case hanging over them, due to be heard next Friday, which they hope that something about the ownership of the club can be resolved. And the supporters came today with the intention of making their feelings heard on that issue, but their mood must have lightened considerably the way events have unfolded on the pitch. Colin Addison, who only took over the club from John Hollins back in September. It was a shame, really, the way that his career at Yeovil ended, when he had a disagreement with the chairman, some reported comments that Yeovil hadn't lost the conference title on the day that results went finally against them, but on the day that David Webb left, by implication denigrating the ability of a very experienced football man, and a man in Colin Addison who looks younger every time you see him. He's one of those eternally youthful managers. You wouldn't believe it, would you? He's 61 years of age.
Well, he's looking really well for 61, Rob. We better have a look at our birth certificates, I think, me and you.
Smith losing out on the header, but getting there the second time. Well, the final of this great competition is held in South Wales, and Swansea, as part of their build-up, went a bit closer to the Millennium Stadium. They had a 3-day break earlier in the week at a hotel in Cardiff. Good bonding session. The players relaxed together, enjoyed a bit of golf as well as some training work, and it's clearly done the trick.
Clearly has, and they've been wanting to do it every week now. If they've won 3-0, if we're putting pressure on Colin to take them away again. Well, it's just playing out time now, isn't it, for Queen's Park Rangers? They've worked their socks off, as we said earlier. Worked very, very hard for each other, but it was all important first goal that Swansea got.
Bignett. Cusack. So who's your man of the match going to be then, Nigel?
Well, I think there's only one player for me. Sidibe, the number 17, he made the first goal. He's worked very, very hard up front with John Williams. Then he got that all-decisive third goal. So I think he deserves to be man of the match.
So the AXA man of the match is the man who has crowned his FA Cup debut with a goal, Mama Sidibe. 4 minutes of added time. 4 minutes of prolonging the agony as far as Queen's Park Rangers are concerned. How does Ian Holloway pick up his team after this? They have a league programme to come that includes Swindon and Brentford and Colchester, all tough games to try and get them back on an even keel.
I think it's very difficult for Ian in the financial problems that they've got at the club, and also I think he's used up, if not all, of his loans. I think practically he might have one left, but it's very, very difficult for him to change anything around, and with long-term injuries to Richard Langley and Carlisle, two very, very good players, it's going to be very difficult for them, and it's really re-establishing themselves now, making sure that they sit in mid-table, because I don't think they'll be able to push because of their financial restrictions for anything better than that, and I think the supporters understand that, and I think everybody connected with the club understands that, so it's just merely solidating in midfield and pushing on from there for next season.
Terry Evans. And it's deflected across, and Watkin, the substitute, has made his mark. It's a fourth goal for Swansea City. Queen's Park Rangers beaten and downbeat. It's Swansea's day.
Yeah, good play again down this right-hand side. And this is a nice ball in here. Terry Evans and Watkin round the back post, unmarked, just simple tapping. Good ball in, nice and low, little deflection. There's Watkin, the substitute, on at the back post. Thank you very much, 4-0.
His first goal since the opening day of the season, Steve Watkin. That was a penalty at Macclesfield. Now he has rounded off a fantastic day for Swansea City, who are putting all of their off-the-field problems well and truly behind them, but adding to the woes of Ian Holloway, who from his time at Bristol Rovers has been used to dealing in the bargain basement of footballers, trying to turn £50,000 players into £4 million players. It's a sort of trick that he's going to have to try and work again, although it never gets any easier.
Talking about £50,000 players, trying to turn them into £4 million players, I think John Holland's found a very good player here when he was scouts looking over in Paris. Sidibe, I mean, he looks a player who could play at a higher level, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of scouts and a lot of teams looking at him over the next few months.
Sidibe, who speaks very little English. They say football's an international language, and he's certainly knitted in well into this team today. They have David Romo in their squad, who very often acts as an interpreter for them. That one is lashed well wide by Paquette. But Romo wasn't available even for the bench today because he's had flu. Watkin has finished the day as the partner to Sidibe.
Well, that's about it. Queen's Park Rangers that just want to get on that coach and get back to London and regroup, ready for next week. Well, they've got a couple of hard games coming up, a couple of local derbies. Hopefully get back to winning ways.
Bruce. Away by Cusack, and away goes Watkin. Clearance by Forbes. This is Cusack. Connolly away. Clearance in the end by Christian O'Leary. Referee has checked both of his watches now. And the FA Cup's magic has done its stuff again, and third division Swansea, under Colin Addison, who's a great wizard in this competition anyway, have beaten second division Queen's Park Rangers, and handsomely. Sidibe and Watkin on the score sheet at the end, and Williams and Cusack had already put